Hello gathered friends and welcome back to the channel. Now for the 9 of you that saw my reaction video to both the trailers for Silent Hill: The Short Message and the Silent Hill 2 Combat trailer reveal, you'd probably remember that my reception to the short message was more or less lukewarm. And unfortunately that lukewarm reaction carried over to the actual game. Now the reason I say unfortunately is because I really wanted to like this game. I played through it. I kind of played through it on my own time, and there are so many things that could have, and to be honest, should have been better. Now obviously this wouldn't be much of a video if I were to just simply barge in, say the game sucks, refuse to elaborate, and then leave. So I'm going to go over what I don't like about this game, and I'm going to go over what I actually do like about this game. So, welcome to my official review of Silent Hill: The Short Message. So the first thing I don't like is how they handled the subject matter of the game, because as I kind of predicted in my reaction video, it handles, or it talks a lot about, depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, and, feeling isolated and cyberbullying and things like that. And again, those are perfect candidates for like a Silent Hill game. Those are perfect things, perfect topics for a Silent Hill game to deal with. Unfortunately, the way that how do I put this? The way that the script was written around these things, it felt like this is gonna sound so bad, and it is, but it's almost like if they asked Darman to write the script for this, and I mean that in the absolute worst way possible. Just the overall script and the line delivery, it is all so goofy and forced. I go so far as to say that it shouldn't have been a Silent Hill game. And that actually would have been also another thing that kind of bugs me is that it just didn't feel like a Silent Hill game. And if anything, I would even go so far as to say that maybe it shouldn't have been a Silent Hill game. It doesn't feel like a Silent Hill game. It feels like an indie horror game that had a lot of heavy influence from Silent Hill. I feel like tacking this game onto a popular franchise like Silent Hill, it did not do it any favors. In fact, I feel like it was probably the ticket to its downfall. Another thing that kind of stuck out to me in a bad way is that the character model for the main character, Anita, there's just something about it, something uncanny. It looks uncanny, but it doesn't look completed. Like the character model was in the second to last stages to being done, but then the game developers were like, it's fine, let's just put it out. And I don't know if this is for everyone's experience playing the game, but one thing that I noticed that was really kind of distracting is that Anita has glasses, and every time we see her face, it's like her hair is like clipping through her glasses. Like it's like they're behind her glasses. Like she has her hair literally behind her glasses, and it was so distracting. And the close-ups of her face, it just really brought attention to that, and it was just really distracting. Now, I don't know anything about how to do any type of 3D modeling and animation, stuff like that, so I'm not going to tell anyone how they should do it, but I feel like something like that is just really easy to fix. And then there is the lack of puzzles. Now, solving puzzles and riddles has been a staple of Silent Hill games since the beginning. And in the entire playthrough of the short message, there is only one real puzzle throughout the entire game. And I'll admit, I did enjoy it. I thought it was pretty cleverly set up, even though it didn't take me long to figure it out. My software just dropped out. Okay, so I have no clue how much actually got saved, so I guess I'll figure out when I edit this video. Okay, now getting back to the puzzles, I feel like if you're not gonna give us combat, at least give us more puzzles. Which brings me to the next point, is no combat. Now, I kind of figured from the trailer that there was not gonna be any combat, and I know that idea is nothing new in the world of Silent Hill, because Silent Hill Shattered Memories did that, and I personally have no opinion on the game because I have never played it, so all I know is that there was no combat in the game and people kind of felt pretty negatively about that. But at the same time, I'm not really sure how they would have made combat in this game work, because there's really only one creature that you face throughout the entire game. But at the same time, I really don't like a horror game where you are not able to defend yourself at all. And like I mentioned in my reaction video for the trailers after I watched the Silent Hill 2 combat reveal trailer, is that almost all of the protagonists that you play as in Silent Hill have probably had no real combat experience whatsoever, but at the same time, the minute they were faced with danger, they were not hesitant to defend themselves. When Heather Mason encountered her first monster, what did she do? She picked up a conveniently placed blicky and gave that monster a true American welcome. When James Sunderland encountered his first monster, what did he do? He picked up a stick and made a piñata out of said monster. What did Henry Townsend do when he encountered his first set of monsters? I'll tell you what he did. He did a pretty good impression of me wishing I could get back the time that I wasted watching Eternals. The point of all that, combat may or may not have worked in this game. So, now that I have talked about all the things that I dislike about the game, let's end the video on somewhat of a positive note and talk about the things that I do like about the game. So, the first thing that I just absolutely love is how they switch from live action cutscenes and in-game cutscenes. It kind of reminded me of the way that the very first Resident Evil game used live action cutscenes and then in-game cutscenes. That's just what that reminded me of, and I thought it was kind of cool. And I will say the backgrounds in these cutscenes, while clearly are green screen, they still look pretty convincing. Next thing I want to talk about in this game is the creature design. Now, in my personal opinion, Silent Hill monsters fall under 3 categories: subtle, not subtle at all, and the most common category. What the hell am I looking at? Now, for me, the Rose Blossom creature that you encounter regularly throughout the game, it literally is the only monster that you face throughout the entire game. This falls under the category of not subtle at all, and the reason I say that it falls under the category of not subtle at all is because if you stop and take a good look at the creature, if you've been paying attention to the live action cutscenes that focus on Anita's friend Maya, you'll notice that the creature is literally wearing the exact same outfit that Maya has on, with the white hoodie, the black shorts. The only difference here is she's covered in like these cherry blossoms. So I think it was pretty genius to have her covered in cherry blossoms because of what the cherry blossoms mean to Maya, like how she interprets them. Another thing that I noticed in the game, it was actually the first thing I noticed, and that is how well done the environments are done. Like how well the graphics and the environments are designed is just chef's kiss. Like, whoever let the artists for this game cook, keep letting them cook, please. I feel like I probably would have gotten through this game a lot quicker if I hadn't stopped and just like really looked at the environments around me, like really just take it all in and just really admire all the hard work and dedication that these artists and the animators put into it. And that is probably why I would not survive Silent Hill, because I would be too busy sightseeing. The next thing I love is actually the chase sequences that occur throughout the game, where you have to run from the cherry blossom creature through these otherworld style... Oh, there it goes again. Oh boy. Anyway, I love the chase sequences in this game because they don't feel, I mean, yeah, obviously, you know, there's only so much you can do, but it feels different every time. Like the first time, it's just get away from the monster as quickly as you can, but like around the second or third chase sequence, like you actually have to like think and pay attention to which room you're walking into. You actually have to like juke the monster a couple of times. The only thing that I kind of found funny about it was the fact that when the monster is nearby, the phone that you have in your hand starts glitching and just tweaking out. It starts tweaking out altogether. And the closer the monster gets to you, the player, your vision starts to get all like staticky and glitchy. And honestly, the first thing that I thought of when I saw that was like, it reminded me of the Vanny chase sequences in FNAF Security Breach. I really do like the final chase sequence where you have to run around the other world picking up different pictures of Anita's friends, you know, Maya and Amelie, to unlock, to like take the chains off of the door that would go into Maya's room. Thought that was pretty well done. It kept the tension going. Now, the final thing that I love about this game, and it is probably the one thing that I will always love about a Silent Hill game, is the soundtrack. I really do not think that Akira Yamaoka knows what putting out a bad song is, because every track he releases for any game is just fire. I remember in my 10 favorite horror movies video, I made this comment when I was talking about the Silent Hill movie. And regardless of what people feel about a Silent Hill game as a game, at least you know the soundtrack is just gonna be bopping. And thankfully that statement still applies to this game, because he never, Akira Yamaoka never slacks off. He's always cooking in the studio. He's always cooking. And man, do not even get me started on the song that plays during the credits. Now, the song that plays during the credits is called My Heroine. Now, I was kind of expecting Akira to bring back Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, who he has worked with countless times before on Silent Hill soundtracks. She's the vocalist behind songs like You're Not Here and Room of Angel. But the vocalist that Akira got for this song, and I believe her name is Esta Ortega, she does just as good of a job as Mary would have done. She belts these lyrics out. You really feel like she's just feeling this song. Like she is just, or like her voice is just going full force, just no holds barred. And of course, I like that Akira did the thing that he does in some of his other songs too, which is he sneaks the theme of Laura melody into his solo. But yeah, the soundtrack, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Well gathered friends, I believe this concludes my very disorganized review. Do I hate the game? No. Do I love the game? Also no. It's just okay. I feel like it had potential to be good. I feel like a lot of things should have been handled differently, should have been executed differently, but again, these are not calls that I get to make. I'm just a consumer, nothing more, nothing less. I'm not gonna tell people to not bother with this game or not waste their time. I want people to play this game and see what their own opinions on it are. Me personally, I just think it could have been better. Even though it's not a long game, I've seen YouTubers play games that are way shorter and they still have it still feels like the developers just went all in on it. Not saying that the developer for this game didn't do that, I just feel like, let me choose my next words carefully. It feels like they cut corners in some spots when they really didn't need to. Now, while the game is very rough around the edges, does it shake whatever hope I have in a successful Silent Hill revival? No, it doesn't. In fact, if anything, it just makes me even more excited to see the future Silent Hill games that get put out. Maybe because I know we can improve from here. If anyone else watching this has had a chance to play the game, let me know what your experiences were in the comments. Let me know what you did and didn't like about the game. Like I said, I know I say that a lot here lately in my last few videos, but I really do like hearing from you guys. I really do like interacting with y'all, hearing y'all's thoughts on whatever it is that I'm talking about. And with all of that, I think I'm just going to go ahead and end the video here. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and have a good one.